You're not lazy, you're completely burned out. I've been kind of obsessed with remote work since 2016 because the idea of being able to have slower mornings and being able to go downstairs and prepare a nice healthy lunch for myself during the day just appealed to me. To put a load of clothes in the laundry during my lunch break, that appeals to me, so that I'm not looking like a crazy person when I get home with not enough energy to breathe and to enjoy my family. And I think a lot of you feel the same way. When you get home in the evening, it's just you're on fumes. And you may be wondering, is life really this? Like, what is this? Why is this? Why is this even acceptable? Why have we accepted this way of life for so long? And you realize every day you deal with this fatigue, you're living paycheck to paycheck. It's like, what gives? That's a complete demotivator. And I think that's where a lot of Americans are at this point, just completely demotivated because of that paycheck to paycheck. You're hustling for nothing. And that's why you're seeing this explosion on YouTube and other platforms where people are encouraging others to start their own, because that's the only thing that you can truly have control over, what you do for yourself and your family. I'm sitting in the backyard, in my backyard. It's a quiet morning. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and you can hear the birds. There's a little pond behind me that's nice to look at. And these are the types of mornings that I've decided I want to have. Not a morning that somebody else tells me I've got to have, where I'm rushing to get my child to school, rushing to get to work. And no, you don't have to rush, but you kind of do, because all the things that get in the way in the morning. You want to get up and have time to work out. It's just fast paced. There's no way around it. There's no slow anything when you have to get children to school and you have to get yourself to work. It's just not. You can wake up as early as you want to, but you still have to make it happen. Having this type of morning, I think that's the appeal for so many people, simply because we only live this life for so long. We only get to be with the people we love for so long. There's a point where you just finally understand that all the hustle and bustle is not it. What really matters is your family and the time that you have. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. You want money, but getting that money is what gives you the time. So that's why we see so many people branching out on their own to get their time back. Even though in the beginning, it may take 16-hour days or 12-hour days or whatever the case may be. We're doing it because we understand that time has more value than money. But getting the money is what gives you the time. So I think 2020 woke all of us up to finally understand the constant rat race, the constant burnout is unnecessary. Things can get done from home. And I was very appreciative of that. Having a background in education, of course, I've always had to report to a school building. But during that time, we were able to work remotely for an entire year. And when I tell you that was such a blessing, because I had family illnesses going on during that time, and I was able to attend to those things as well as attend to my own health and still be able to work. Just the flexibility was unmatched, and we didn't have to miss out on precious moments in our child's life. We were able to see him take his first steps. We were able to be there, and that was one of the things I was scared I would miss, that he'd be at daycare when he took his first steps. But we didn't have to miss that. We were there with him. Just things like that. Those are the things that matter. Those are the things that you can't get back once they're gone. And that's why we see such a push for remote work. That's why we see people who are having to return to the office. That's why they are saying, no, I'm not. I'm going elsewhere if they can. Because that flexibility to be able to live while you still work, that's priceless. We only get so much time here on this earth. And for someone to, say paid holidays when we already don't get a lot, just the general public doesn't get a lot, just to say we have too many is just completely out of touch. We work hard each day. We deserve every paid holiday. that we can get and then some. And there are other countries who give way more than the US. But I feel like work has to change in the US. I know there may not really be a complete work-life balance, but it can be better. 5 days a week in office, commuting, that's outdated. It's outdated because the demands of life are much different. The technology we have is much different. There are things that we can get done in way less time than 100 years ago. So it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to continue the same way of life when there's a better way. So what do you think? Are you one of the ones who just has to be in the office? I know some people have to be in the office. They're so social. They have to be, doing the water cooler talk, and they just have to be there. They love it. They just love all of it, and they feel like that's the only way. They feel like that's the only way for everybody. Are you one of those people? Or are you someone who says, no, just because it's always been this way doesn't mean it always has to stay this way. There's always progression. If not, we would still be riding around in horses and buggies. Like, there has to be progression. So my question is, why has there not been a complete overhaul of work? Why are we requiring people to go in 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, whether you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs or not, you're just there. They're on your time. And time is something you will never ever get back once it's gone. And the older I get, the more I understand, and the more I'm like, no, like, give me my time. And that's why I do the things I do, to be able to earn my time back. What are your thoughts about that? Drop it down below. Are you working on something to get your time back?